It was a moonlit night on the island of Sodor. The day's work was done, and all the engines were resting in the shed.
Do you know what I'm suggesting?
What were you suggesting, Percy?
I was suggesting that someone should tell us the story.
That's a good idea, Percy. Do you want to hear my story about the good old days? A story about the good old days? You mean like when we first arrived on Sodor? No. I mean how I first met those little strange engines.
Okay then, Edward. Tell us a story about those little strange engines.
Okay then. Once upon a time, there were old engines from their own railway in Sodor and Mainland Railway. Their names were Neil, Frederick, Morris, and Norman. One morning, Neil was going up to the mountain to collect some stone for his trucks. The trucks were up to no good. They decided to push Neil downhill and make him crash to the buffers and came off the rails.
On!
Cried the trucks. Neil was shocked and he rushed down the hill. Neil knew if he wouldn't stop before he reached the buffers, he'll have an accident. Oh, groaned Neil. Beneath the weight, the trucks keep pushing him. Then he applied his brakes. He braked as hard as he could, trying to stop having a crash.
Then what happened?
Asked Percy. Oh, we stopped just in time, replied Edward. Then Neil and his friends worked happily together for many years, until years passed, and then we started to run this railway instead.
Oh, I wish I could see them.
We'll see, Percy, replied Edward. Maybe soon. The next day, Edward was finished at the smelter's yard by shunting the trucks. He was on his way back home when he recognized one of the engines. Neil, is that you? Edward, is that you? What are you doing here? Asked Edward. I'm going to be scrapped soon. Can you please help me? I don't want to be scrapped. Don't worry, replied Edward. I'll get you out of here. Neil smiled at his old friend. Edward took Neil to the steamworks. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting.
Where's this engine, Edward?
I'm sorry, sir, replied Edward. This is Neil. He was going to be scrapped, so I decided to help him. Sir Topham Hatt was pleased with Edward.
Edward, you are a really useful engine. For that, you can get a new coat of paint of blue with red stripes. And Neil will have a new coat of paint and he'll work in the island of Sodor forever.
Now Neil is mended and painted in Northwestern Railway colours. He is very happy of being on the island of Sodor. He starts living in the yards with the other engines, and he's happy to be in the Fat Controller's Railway.